Hello everyone, I'm Joe Session, welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, I talk all things jazz. The legends, the deep cuts, and the albums that deserve way more love than they ever got. And today, we're going deep, proper deep. I've put together a list of 10 records that somehow slipped under the wider radar but absolutely shouldn't have. These are albums that I've really enjoyed as a listener, albums I go back to when I want something fresh, inventive and beautifully crafted. And honestly, some of today's picks might end up becoming some of your favourites too. So get comfortable and let's dive in. The first album for today is Duke Pearson's Sweet Honey Bee from 1967. Right, we're starting with one of Blue Note's most underrated architects, Duke Pearson. Most people know him for his work behind the scenes, producing, arranging, shaping that pristine Blue Note sound of the late 60s. But Sweet Honey Bee shows exactly why he deserved way more attention as a band leader. The whole album has this sunny, unforced charm to it, almost like Pearson's smiling through the piano lines. But the standout track for me is Empathy, a tune that feels both breezy and reflective. There's this gorgeous balance between simplicity and sophistication. The horns glide in with these warm, understated harmonies. And Duke's piano playing is so tasteful, never flashy but always purposeful. And that rhythm section, relaxed but tight. It's one of those tracks that makes you feel like the whole band is breathing together. If you're after an album that radiates good energy without ever becoming lightweight, then Sweet Honey Bee is the one. Album number 2, Booker Ervin, The Blues Book from 1964. Now Booker Ervin never phones it in. His tone is unmistakable. Big, raw, almost vocal in its intensity. But the Blues Book is where everything aligns. Ervin taking the blues language and stretching it into adventurous post-bop territory. My favourite track, True Blue, is just dripping with feeling. Booker gives you grit, but he also gives you nuance. Those little bends, those powerhouse phrases where you can hear him pushing against the harmony. The tune has a loose, earthy drive to it, like the band is tapping directly into something primal. It's the kind of track you put on when you want blues tradition filtered through a fiercely modern lens. If you haven't dug into Booker outside of his work with Mingus, then this album is a perfect entry point. Album number 3 is Junior Cook's album, Junior's Cookin from 1962. This one is a proper hidden gem. Tenor saxophonist Junior Cook is often associated with his work alongside Horace Silver, but on Junior's Cookin, he steps forward with this confident, muscular presence. The tune Turbo Village is an absolute joy, full of momentum but with a relaxed cool underneath. Cook's tone is robust without being heavy, and his lines have that hard bop clarity while still hinting at something more exploratory. What I love about this record is the chemistry. The band feels locked in from the very first bar and everyone is clearly having fun. It's one of those "why isn't this album more famous" records. And trust me, once you hear Turbo Village, it's going straight into your rotation. Album number 4 is Duke Pearson's The Right Touch from 1968. Yes, Pearson appears on this list twice, and for good reason. The Right Touch is arguably his most ambitious outing as a composer and arranger. Everything is a bit sharper, a bit more polished, a bit more daring. The track Los Malos Hombres stands out immediately. It's got this driving rhythmic undercurrent, touches of Latin influence, and a horn arrangement that feels bold and cinematic. Pearson's writing here has a real sense of drama, but without losing the earthy, soulful core that makes his music so accessible. It's one of those tunes where you can almost see the band grinning as they dig into the groove. If you like your post-bop with strong arrangements and a bit of bite, You'll absolutely love this album. Number 5 is Kenny Barron's album Sunset to Dawn from 1973. We move into the early 70s with Kenny Barron, an artist who's rightly celebrated today, but who at the time of this record was still carving out his identity as a leader. Sunset to Dawn is a beautiful blend of lyricism and subtle experimentation. The standout track for me? Al-Kifa. There's something hypnotic about it. Barron lets the tune unfold slowly, patiently, with this almost spiritual atmosphere. His touch on the piano is delicate yet assured, inviting you deeper into the harmony. It's the kind of track you put on late at night when everything is still and you want to be transported. And transport you it will. This record proves that Barron was already a giant, long before most people realized it. Album number 6, Sonny Criss, This Is Criss, from 1966. Alto saxophonist Sonny Criss remains one of the most underrated voices of the West Coast scene. His tone is razor sharp, yet beautifully expressive, almost like Cannonball Adderley with a more aggressive edge. On This Is Criss, he's in absolutely superb form. The track Steve's Blues is my pick of the bunch. A blues that manages to be both relaxed and intensely personal. Criss's phrasing is so fluid, and every solo chorus feels like a conversation. Direct, soulful, and unpretentious. There's a warmth to this album that makes it feel incredibly approachable, even if you're not deep into jazz yet. But for seasoned listeners, there are layers to enjoy too. A perfect blend of accessibility and artistry. Number 7 is Blue Mitchell's Down With It from 1966. Trumpeter Blue Mitchell has one of the cleanest, most lyrical tones in post-bop. And on Down With It, he's at his melodic best. There's a joyful, almost playful character running throughout the record. One Shirt is the track that always gets me. It's upbeat, catchy, and features some wonderfully crisp interplay between the horns and the rhythm section. Mitchell's soloing is elegant, but with enough fire to keep you hooked from the first note to the last. This is one of those albums that you can put on anytime. Cooking dinner, relaxing, driving, you name it. It will instantly get you in a good mood. A criminally overlooked gem in the Blue Note catalogue. Album number 8 is Tommy Turrentine's album, Tommy Turrentine, from 1960. Now here's an album that really deserves more attention. Trumpeter Tommy Turrentine, older brother of Stanley, only recorded this one album as a leader, which makes it all the more special. The tune Time's Up captures everything that makes this record shine. Elegance, warmth, and a melodic sensibility that's almost timeless. Tommy's tone is beautifully rounded, with a gentle vibrato and a lyrical approach that feels effortless. There's a certain gracefulness to the whole album. It's reflective, thoughtful, and deeply musical. If you love melodic trumpet playing, this is one you absolutely shouldn't miss. Number 9 is Walter Bishop Jr., Coral Keys from 1971. Released on the much-loved Black Jazz label, Coral Keys is a record that merges post-bop tradition with early 70s spiritual and modal influences. Walter Bishop Jr. is in exploratory mode here, but the album remains incredibly accessible. Waltz for Sweetie is a tender, gliding piece that almost feels weightless. There's this wonderful balance between structure and freedom. The melody floats and the rhythm section creates this dreamy, swirling backdrop. It's one of those tunes that makes you close your eyes without realizing you've even done it. Beautiful, introspective, and quietly powerful. A genuine treasure for anyone interested in the Black Jazz catalogue. Album number 10 is Dexter Gordon, The Panther, from 1970. We close with a giant, Dexter Gordon. Now yes, Dexter isn't exactly lesser known, but the Panther definitely flies under the radar compared to his more famous Blue Note releases. The title track, The Panther, is classic Dexter. Big tone, laid back phrasing, and that unmistakable swagger. There's a confidence to this tune, but also a warmth, as if Dexter is inviting you to stroll through the music with him. The whole album has this relaxed, late night atmosphere. It shows Dexter settling into a groove-rich, mature phase of his career. If you only know his earlier, more hard driving work, this album will be a lovely surprise. So there you have it, jazz albums that for one reason or another don't get the spotlight they deserve. Even if one of these becomes a new favourite for you, this video has done its job. Let me know in the comments which of these albums you're most excited to check out, or if you've already heard some of these gems. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, click the like button, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you could stay up to date with my latest uploads. If you want to continue hanging out with me here on the channel, I'll pop a video in the corner for you to click on now. Other than that, I'd like to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.